And now we come to the assessment confirmation, 16-250, resolution confirming assessments for local improvements pursuant to ordinance 2006-37. And I'd like to invite back up Mr. Huff to brief us. And I also believe this is the last of these sewer assessments that are old. Is that correct?
I'm very happy to agree with you on
Okay, that is...
that this is the last one. This is the one regarding the 206 Laurel Circle sewer lateral replacement project. That was ordinance 2006-37. As you're aware from my memo, this started with the Board of Improvement Assessors about a year ago. And they met, and they had some questions at the time, and they had some residents from that neighborhood that attended that particular meeting. They had some questions regarding the sewer that was installed in the 50s. They also had some questions then regarding the length of the laterals and the work that was done and the crossing of adjoining properties in order to provide service to some of these properties. I believe in your package you have a map. If need be, I can get it put up on the screen. But in summary, the sanitary sewer, as it was designed back then, was not constructed by the developer in accordance with the then approved design plans. So as a result, a number of properties, 6 in particular, had extremely long sanitary sewer laterals that crossed adjoining properties in order to eventually reach the sewer as it had been constructed. When the Board of Improvement Assessors met a year ago, like I said, they raised some concerns. We went back, we looked at it. They, in turn, met themselves, individually with myself and Mr. Kaiser. There were some discussions with the administrator to determine, to hear some of their concerns and their thoughts. And one of their thoughts had been that they should only assess, these people should only be assessed for the portion of work that was done on their private property, their own specific lot. That was discussed then with the Sewer Operating Committee, of which Jenny is the liaison. It was subsequently also discussed with the Public Works Committee, of which Patrick Burney and Jenny sit. And the conclusion came from those groups is that relief should not be granted, that they should, these property owners should pay for the improvement that was made to their sanitary sewer lateral. The sanitary sewer lateral, as you call, is the piece of pipe that goes from their property, from their structure through their property and ties into the sewer main.
Can I interject to explain our reasoning a little bit, or are you going to?
I'm going to touch on that also. And
I just don't want to sound like we're just cold-hearted.
No. So when all those groups looked at it, it was their opinion that other property owners, when these assessments are done, pay for the work that is done to their sanitary sewer laterals. This is a unique situation with the sanitary sewer being in an easement behind properties. We do have this in other places, but we went back through our records, Bob Kaiser and I, and could not find any other instances where a project had occurred where the sewer had not been constructed all the way through as per the design in the sense of reaching all the properties. But it was determined that these laterals served these properties. They had been constructed that way. Other people who have long laterals also have to bear the cost of any repairs that happen to their sanitary sewer laterals. So it was several meetings for some of these groups that discussed the SOC in particular, that discussed these assessments and determined that it was in the best interest of the municipality to complete this ordinance as it was intended and assess the entire work of the lateral to the property owners. Subsequently, we reconvened the Board of Improvement Assessors. It took us a bit to get them back together. They met on April 20th. We presented to them the original final assessments based on the work that was constructed, and per their request, we also presented to them these modified numbers, which was for only the work done on these people's private property and not for the extended lengths of the sewer. We explained to them the meetings that had occurred with the Sewer Operating Committee, with staff, with the Public Works Committee. Upon conclusion of that, the Board of Improvement Assessors did a report that you received. They're signed off of the assessments, and they recommended, remember it is a recommendation, they recommended to the governing body that relief be granted and that only the portion of work done on somebody's private property be assessed. We went back, we spoke with various members of the various committees, brought them up to speed on where we were. With their then coming on summer, it was a conscious decision of myself with Mark and other staff that the best thing to do is not to do this over the summer. Thus, we're here before you tonight in early September to provide you with this and to request that these sewer assessments be confirmed. The report that you have references all the events that have happened. The resolution that you have before you tonight is based on confirming the original ordinance from 2006, because that original ordinance, as stated in the resolution and also stated in the beginning of my memo, states that the property owners were to be assessed for 100% of the cost of the sewer work. So we have written the documentation tonight to present to you as if 100% of the sewer work is to be assessed to the various impacted property owners. Lisa, Trishka, myself, Mark, have worked to put that together for you for tonight, and certainly I can answer any questions you may have, and certainly it is a public hearing to open up if there's any public here before you make your decision on what direction you're going.
Okay. I just want to say, before we get into the specifics of this, I know this particular set of sewer laterals has special issues with it, but I want to just state for the record that these bills should have gone out in 2006, 2007, and we apologize that there's been such a delay. And I know it's probably cold comfort to the people who've been individually affected by this, but we now have mechanisms in place within the organization, so this will never happen again, and that we're going to be up to date on our billing. So before we get into the discussion, I just wanted to issue that apology. Ms. Kremler?
I just wanted to ask a question. Are any of the assessments higher than the estimates that were given in 2006?
The approval tonight that we're asking you to do, there are I believe it's three property owners who their assessments will be held at the pre-assessment amount. That was a recommendation of the board, and your predecessors as borough and township councils and committee, as well as you folks, have previously done that and have not assessed individuals greater than what the pre-assessment was. We do have that in a couple of cases. It's not a lot of money that the relief is granted for. I think one case it's like $12 is one. A couple of them are $100 and $200. So it's not a lot of relief that's granted to those. But yes, it does include those, and you have done that in the past where you have not assessed anyone above what the pre-assessment amount was.
Are there any other questions before we open up the public hearing?